Some mysteries fade with time, others grow darker. And then there are those that refuse to die. December 24, 1945. The Sodder family was preparing for Christmas in their home in Fayetteville, West Virginia. Stockings hung by the fireplace. Laughter filled the air. A perfect holiday night, until, just hours later, 5 children would vanish, leaving behind nothing but ashes and unanswered questions. George and Jenny Sodder were hardworking, respected members of their community. Together, they raised 10 children in a modest but comfortable home. That evening, the younger children pleaded to stay up late, excited for Christmas morning. Their mother, Jenny, allowed it, unaware that it would be the last time she'd ever see 5 of them again. But as the town of Fayetteville slept, something strange was already happening. At 12:30 a.m., the phone rang. Jenny answered, expecting a late-night holiday greeting. Instead, she heard laughter. A woman's voice asked for someone who didn't live there. Glasses clinked in the background, the sound of a party. Jenny told the caller she had the wrong number, but before she could hang up, the woman laughed. A strange, unnatural laugh before the line went dead. Jenny thought nothing of it until she noticed something odd. The house was still awake. The lights were on. The front door was unlocked. Strange, but not alarming. She turned everything off and returned to bed. Just an hour later, she awoke again. But this time, it wasn't a phone call, it was the sound of something hitting the roof. Moments later, the house was on fire. George and Jenny scrambled to save their children. Smoke choked the hallways. Flames blocked the staircase. They managed to grab 4 of their children and escape, but 5 of them, Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty, were still trapped upstairs. George Sodder was a determined man. He had to save his children. He ran outside, heading for his ladder, only to find it missing. He rushed to his trucks, planning to drive them next to the house to climb in, but neither truck would start. Both had worked perfectly the day before. The fire department was called, but the phone lines had been cut. A neighbor ran to get help, but the fire chief wouldn't arrive for 7 hours. By then, the house was gone. But when the ashes cooled, there was something missing. There were no bones, no bodies, nothing. Experts would later claim that fire, no matter how hot, does not completely destroy bones. Jenny Sodder, desperate for answers, burned animal bones in her own stove. No matter how long she burned them, they never disintegrated. So where were her children? Then the stories started coming in. A woman passing by the fire that night claimed she saw the children in a car watching the flames. Another, working at a Charleston motel, swore she saw them a week later with 2 men and 2 women of Italian descent. And years later, a cryptic photograph arrived in the mail. Inside was a photo of a young man. Written on the back in shaky handwriting were the words, "Louis Sodder, I love brother Frankie. Little boys, a 90132 or 35. Theories swirl to this day. Some believe the Sodder children were abducted, their disappearance covered up by the fire. Others point to George Sodder's outspoken political beliefs, his criticism of Benito Mussolini. Could the Italian mafia have been involved? Or was it something even deeper? Some whisper about government involvement. The cut phone lines. The missing ladder. The stalled trucks. Too many coincidences or the work of something far more sinister? George and Jenny Sodder never gave up searching for their children. Until their final days, they believed they were still out there, somewhere. But the truth? That remains buried in the ashes of Christmas Eve, 1945.